In this video, I'm going to share with you how I was able to go from being a broke Hungarian kid who was making around $5 an hour freelancing, making maybe maximum a couple $100s in a month, to having made over $30,000 last month in a single month using my creative skill sets. Now, this is a concept I like to call skill stacking. So if you are interested in this and you want to take advantage of this concept, then follow along. Hey guys, my name is Vince, and I would say let's jump right into it. So what is skill stacking? Well, skill stacking is basically the concept of stacking interrelated skills on top of each other to make each one of them more valuable on the marketplace. Here's kind of my journey with skill stacking, and although at the time I didn't know this is what I was doing, but looking back, now it all kind of makes sense, right? So when I was first around 8-9 years old, I got my first computer, or at least we had a family computer. I didn't get my own, but and I started playing video games on that. I was playing a lot of like Minecraft, Counter-Strike, things of that nature, right? And because I wanted to play video games, I had to learn how to actually use and manage the computer. So that was the first kind of skill I learned in this field. It was learning how to use a computer. I was using a Windows PC, which was more complicated than a Mac as well. So I got some solid foundational skills on how to use a computer, how to create files, and so on. So that was like the base skill sets. And then I wanted to make videos of us playing video games, right? So I had to learn how to actually record the screen. I had to learn how to make cuts and how to edit videos so I can make like kill montages and things like that in Counter-Strike, right? So that was kind of the second skill that I wanted to stack on top. And I started using things like Sony Vegas Pro, Camtasia Studio. I was using like very shitty free editing softwares, but I was learning the very basics of it. I learned how to record my screen, how to do some basic effects, and so on. After that, I also started using Premiere Pro, and I was able to learn video editing at a much higher level. But since I was also uploading these gameplay videos to the internet, I was stacking another skill set, right? So I got my base skill of learning how to use a computer, then I learned how to edit videos, and then since I was uploading them to YouTube, I also learned the fundamentals of how to upload to YouTube, how to do the tags, how to create a title, how to create a description, how to create a thumbnail in Photoshop, right? So that was another skill that I was able to stack on top of that. Obviously, as I first learned these skill sets, I wasn't really good at them. But since this was like around 10 years ago at this point, I had plenty of time to refine these skill sets and become excellent at each one of them. Now, after that, I kept, just making videos at first for myself, but then once I was around 15, 14 years old, I really wanted to get my first real camera so I could record some IRL videos as well. So I realized cameras are pretty expensive, so I had to come up with some money somehow. And so I thought about what kind of skill sets do I have, how could I make some money? And at first I got some jobs that were just like, boring summer jobs, which really weren't paying me well at all. But then I got a summer job at basically like a media company in Hungary where I was an intern, and I wasn't making good money, don't get me wrong. I was making like $5 an hour working for them. But then I realized like this is actually a valuable skill set that I could make money from. I learned how to edit, I learned how to film, create videos. This is something that I can work with. So then after that summer, since I also learned English while I was learning editing and playing video games and all that, which was another skill I stacked on top, and that massively increased my earning potential, by the way. Like if you only speak one language that is not English, it's gonna limit you a lot. Anyways, after that, I was like, all right, I can use this skill set of video editing to get clients overseas who are gonna be able to pay me 4-5x for the same exact work that I'm doing here in Hungary. So I did that, and then I had to learn how to actually get clients, right? So I started like looking up videos on that. I started actually implementing the things I was learning. I sent out hundreds of outreach messages, and then I got my first ever client. And then in that process, I had to learn how to communicate with them. I had to learn how to actually close them, right, on a deal, how to manage them. How to manage myself so I consistently get the work done that was needed to be done, right? So that was another skill set. After that, I built a creative agency where I hired other people to do the editing for me, and I was just getting new clients and managing everyone. So that was another stack of skills on top of that. So I hope you are slowly starting to understand this concept that I didn't just learn one thing and then immediately started making all this money, because the problem is, if you are online and you are watching videos on how to make money with an agency or how to make money online with dropshipping, Amazon FBA, video editing, whatever it is, it's very easy to be lured into the concept that if you just buy that one thing and if you just learn that one skill of, let's say, dropshipping or whatever it is, right, then you are immediately gonna jump up to 30K, 50K a month, 100K a month, which is top 1% or more income pretty much wherever you are, right? This is something you don't want to like fall into the trap of, and it's very easy to fall into this because, you know, it really sounds good that if I just learn this skill I will make that money, but the truth is you need a whole foundation of other like separate sub skills to be able to even get to that level where you could make that type of income with any business model. The business model that you are in, whether that be a creative agency, whatever, an e-commerce store, it doesn't really matter that much. It's more about you as a person and what skill sets and what skill stack you have to offer to the market. So you need to understand that we are in the digital renaissance age, okay? We are in one of the best times in history in a lot of areas in terms of opportunity, where everything is going digital, and it's been going for a while, and there is a ton of opportunity out there. There is a ton of directions that you can go in to make an income or to build something that you can be really proud of and that can create a lifestyle for you that you are really striving for and that you want. So you need to go and take a real look on the market, what it is that you actually want to do. If it's video editing, or if it's building a personal brand, or if it's building a creative agency, well, then do that. And then take a wider look at what kind of skill sets you are going to need to develop to become successful at that and to be able to provide more value to the marketplace than all your competitors. And then you need to start working on it. You need to start working on developing those skill sets to a deep level as well, because it's not enough also just to have a bunch of surface level skill sets by watching a ton of videos on these different topics. You actually need to get to work, implement, not only have the information, but have the actual experience and knowledge that comes from just doing the thing and kind of like putting your face in the dirt, doing the work and failing, because that's how you are really going to develop and learn as a person. So I wanted to make this video because I used to say that you need to be just a specialist and you just need to be really, really good at one thing and helping one specific group of people with one problem. And that is still a good business strategy, don't get me wrong. I think you should have an offer that is catering towards a certain group of people and is serving a specific problem and is solving it, but you still need to be a full stack person. You can't just be one-dimensional, because you need all these other skills as well to become successful at whatever it is you are doing. You need to be good at communication, you need to be good at managing yourself as a person, waking up at the same time, eating good food, all that, so you can operate at a high level. You need to be good at strategy, you need to be good at the actual skill that you are selling, managing people, and so on. So there are a lot of different small subtasks. So I would say take again a good look at your life and whatever it is you're trying to do. Identify the things that you are missing and then try to become better at those actively every single day. And trust me, in just a few years, you can come a really long way. And when you look back, you are going to be like, oh, now it all makes sense. But in the moment, it feels like you have no idea what you're doing. Like even now, as I'm trying to scale everything further up, help more people with the business, have more team members, and so on, I feel like I'm lost a lot of times, right? I feel like I have no clue what I'm doing or how it's gonna work, but I'm sure a couple years from now, looking back, I'm gonna be like, all right, that made sense. So you can only connect the dots looking backward. So for now, look at what you need to do, look at what you need to learn, and then execute.